Hello there, my name is Craig Hain. This is a book I've written called Teaching Math. This is my picture on the back of the book. And you can get a copy of this book for free and a PDF version of it at www.triadmathinc.com. And what I want to talk to you about on this video are what I call 5 essential ingredients for a successful mathematics educational program. And it goes by the acronym SPIKE, S-P-I-K-E. And you'll see where that acronym comes from when you read the first letters down here. So let me tell you what this is about. There are 5 things that I believe have to happen if you're going to have a truly successful mathematics educational program for most students. The first thing is self-pacing. Now, most students learn at different rates from other students. In other words, some students learn fast, some learn slow, and it depends on the topic. Some students are slower on some topics and faster on others. And so self-pacing is a very, very critical thing for many students. If you go too fast, they get lost, and then they get discouraged, and pretty soon they're tuned off. If you go too slow, then they are bored, and pretty soon that tends to turn them off. But the problem you have in a classroom, it's very, very difficult to do self-pacing because you're following a certain syllabus with a certain schedule. And it's just very, very difficult. I know I've been a classroom teacher over the years, and it's always a challenge to do that. And in fact, whenever I have tutored somebody one-on-one, I've been able to use self-pacing, and I've really never had a failure. In the classroom, I've had a lot of students that have suffered just simply for this very reason. Now, the second thing that's very vitally important for any given student is that you have to give them the proper content. Now, the first thing is you've got to be sure that the student is ready for some new topic that you're going to present to them. Because learning mathematics is like climbing a ladder. If you do it one step at a time, it's very easy. But if you try to go from rung 7 to rung 12 and skip some steps, it's very, very difficult. And so it's very important that a student be ready for a new topic. That means you need to teach them in a certain order and be sure that the student has mastered the topics that are prerequisite to the future topics. So this is also now very difficult to do in a classroom because students have varying backgrounds, and if they've missed a couple of things for whatever reason, then all of a sudden they get behind, they can't catch up. I must also add that I believe that the content needs to be relevant to the student's broader interests. So oftentimes today in the standard math curriculum that's taught in almost all high schools, there's all kinds of mathematics in it that is not of interest to many, many of the students. I mean, for example, if you're not going to go into science and engineering, what are you going to use the quadratic formula for? What good is it going to be to you in life? And as a matter of fact, if you go to the link that we put on this webpage, John Bennett, who is a very good math teacher, gave a TED Talk, and he talked about the fact that so much of the standard curriculum in mathematics today is irrelevant to 99% of the students, and he explains why that is. And so this is something that has to be overcome if you're going to be successful in your program. Now, another thing about math is it has to be interactive. You learn math by doing math. I like to think of math as a sport. And how do you learn a sport? How do you get good at a game? Well, you practice, that's what you do. And what do you have to do when you practice? Well, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. Mistakes are actually a very good sign that you're practicing and that you're learning. And so you really should be celebrating mistakes. So oftentimes in mathematics, a mistake is considered a bad thing. And you feel bad if you make a mistake. Well, you shouldn't feel bad. You should feel good. You're doing something. You're learning from it. Now, obviously, you don't want to make the same mistake over and over and over. You want to correct it and avoid that mistake, but then you'll find new mistakes to make. Now, I've been doing mathematics for 60 years now, learning math, always learning something new, teaching math, and I'm always making mistakes. It's very easy to do. In fact, in my videos where I teach math to students, I sometimes make a careless mistake and I leave it in because I want them to see that mistakes are made, and then we catch the mistakes. Sometimes they catch it first, sometimes I have to point it out to them. Another very important thing in any kind of a sporting type activity is keeping score. And that means you've got to give the student feedback on how they're doing. If you don't give them feedback, then that lacks in the motivation of it. Anybody that's studied excellence in sports or game playing knows that feedback is critically important. So what we do is we teach a given topic in math, we have them practice it, then we give them a quiz on it, and that gives them the feedback to let them know that they're succeeding. So keeping score is very important. And finally, this is sort of a general thing. You need to have a lot of humor and a lot of empathy when you deal with your students. If students are getting frustrated or making mistakes, you need to laugh at that, and you need to not laugh at them. You need to laugh with them. Encourage them to laugh at themselves when they make a mistake. Not just laugh at other people, but laugh at themselves, because we all make mistakes, and that's fine. I think empathy and humor are very important. And as a matter of fact, I think what's very important when someone is taking a math program, for example, one of our programs, then I think there needs to be somebody that acts as a coach or a mentor that's always talking to the student, encouraging them, letting them know that mistakes are normal, but as they're making progress, that's what counts, and that's good. If you engage in all 5 of these things, what I call essential ingredients: self-pacing, proper content for the student, a lot of interactivity so the student's getting feedback, keeping score so the student sees themselves progressing, a lot of humor and empathy. If you do these 5 things, you'll have a very, very successful math education program. I have been tutoring students for 60 years now, and I've never had a failure when I've tutored a student because I've always been able to do all of these things. It's very hard to do in a classroom, and when I've done classroom teaching, I haven't always succeeded because I can't always do these things in the classroom. Selecting the content, as I said, is something that is extremely important and is often impossible in today's standard math curriculum because it's designed really for potential future mathematicians, not for people that are going to just go out into a regular non-professional technical career or perhaps just go on to be scientists and engineers. So I want you to keep this in mind in everything that I teach, and every video that I give you, and in the book that I've written on teaching math. This is always a critical feature of it, and if you don't agree with this, then of course probably we will not have much in common and I won't be able to help you. If you do agree with me, then there are many things I can do to help your student. If you're an adult wanting to learn math or a student, I can help you directly. If you're a school and you're trying to help your students, I can help you with that. If you're a homeschool parent, I can help you. If you're a frustrated parent that has a child enrolled in standard curriculum and struggling, I can probably help you. So just contact us. Always feel free to contact me. My name is Craig Hain, and the number's on the video here. You can see. Contact me anytime that I can help you, or go to our website and look over a lot of our other videos about what it is that we can do to help you. This is Craig Hain. I wish you good success in your future in either teaching or learning math. Bye-bye.